Hug your monsters. Hug the ghosts and demons in your life. Before you start thinking about what I just told or what this video is going to be about, no, we are not going to talk about genre of horror. But we are going to talk about something which is extremely interesting for each one of us to relish. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to Evolving Consciousness. I am Purushottam, and in today's videos we are going to learn how to hug those inner monsters, those inner demons which petrify most of us. I want to narrate a short story. There once lived an old monk who ventured to an extremely spiritual monastery. Now, during his voyage, he was accompanied by onlookers who were sort of amazed and spellbound by the miracles this monk had performed. So they joined him on his voyage to go to that monastery. As they were moving towards the monastery, and the monastery was at a close proximity, suddenly they noticed 3 vicious dogs which were let free. And those vicious dogs charged towards them. All of the people who were accompanying that old monk, they were absolutely petrified, and because of the fear of the approach of those vicious creatures, they started running away, and the dogs increased their paces. All but one didn't run away, and that someone who didn't run away was that old monk. Instead, the old monk yawned, and after a brief pause of time, he started charging against those vicious dogs. The dogs also started charging at an equal pace, and this old man is also charging towards the dogs. After a certain point of time, the old monk started shaking his hand also in the air, and he started singing, and he started increasing the pace towards which he was going towards these dogs. The dogs, after some time, started getting scared, and probably they thought that this guy is going to attack us, he's not scared of us, and they started running away from him. What did happen? What happened? What is this story trying to tell us? This is what happens with most of us. The monsters, the inner demons which I was referring to in the beginning of the video, I am referring to something, an emotion which the entire human population at some point of their time are conditioned towards. They experience this emotion, and this experience and this emotion is nothing but fear. Yes, you heard that right. Fear is one of those classic emotions which probably there is no human being in this planet who hasn't experienced fear. And fear, if you look at the way fear works, right, the more you run away from it, the more it chases you. And the more you run towards it, it loses its power. Now this story is so beautiful in so many ways. The people who were petrified by the dogs didn't stop chasing them when they were running. In fact, they increased their pace. But this old man, when he charged towards the dogs are representing our fear. And this person, this old monk, is representing that awareness, that consciousness of us chasing those fears. After a point of time, those dogs realize that this person is probably ready to face us, and we have lost all our power. This is what happens in fear as well. If you closely introspect this emotion called fear, the things, just look back on your own life and reflect on your own life, and just begin to contemplate what are the things which scare you, what are the things which are pulling you down, which are not letting you perform at a full potential in whichever dimension of your life is. Now, fear is a very subtle element which probably most of us are not even aware of until it becomes a palpable emotion driven or triggered through an experience. But essentially what I am trying to portray here is the more you run away from the fear, the more the fear is going to get stronger. Every time you avoid yourself from doing what you fear, you are adding fuel to that fear. And the next time, it's only going to get more difficult for you to do that thing which you fear. Now, one thing to understand and note here is, fear is not always bad. There are times where fear serves us. For example, let's say that somebody views a certain motivational videos and he develops this false thought process that I don't need to fear anything. Now that's a foolish way to approach fear. You need to have fear for the elements you need to be scared of. Like for example, if you just go on the 4th floor and you announce to the world that I don't fear jumping off this building, that's not fearlessness, that's insanity. You need to understand the subtle layers here. But the fear which I am talking about here, which 95% of human population is plagued by, is the psychological fear. The fear which is based on faulty foundations, shaky foundations, foundations which are based on mere hallucinations, anticipations of a probable negative future. I am talking about those fears. Franklin D. Roosevelt, he said it so well. He said, there's nothing more to fear than fear itself. I like to put fear, the entire wordings, F-E-A-R, as false evidence appearing real. I want to reiterate what I just told. False, F stands for false, E stands for evidence, A stands for appearing, and R stands for real. False evidence appearing real. Just closely look at your own experiences with life, the things which you were scared of. At some point of your time in your life, when you faced it, you noticed that you suddenly are not scared of something. I want to share a real life story of a legend now. A person who is being deeply respected both in the corporate field and the communities which are considered, from a person from any walk of life adores and respects this person, which I am going to be talking about. This person is considered the top 5 leadership coaches in the world, and his communication skills are world class. I'm talking about the famed author of the international bestseller, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Yes, you guessed it right, Mr. Robin Sharma. Do you know how Robin Sharma was when he was growing up? He was a stark introvert. A person who didn't have good public speaking skills. A person who was petrified when he had to present something in front of a group of audience, or something which demanded his presentation skills. But Robin always had an intention within him that he wanted to make an impact in the world. He wanted to help as much as people in the journey, also help himself grow in the journey and also meet his own lofty goals and ambitions. And he committed to self-improvement. He said that I am going to work on my weaknesses. I am going to polish my skills of public speaking. He said that I'm not going to fool around. I'm not going to waste my time in endless entertainment or fooling around with friends, but I am going to work on my skill set. I am going to hone my public speaking skills. And today the results are in front of the world to see. He's probably one of those speakers who has the potential to strike the chord within you. His words, when you hear his content, or if you just go through his videos, they have the potential to ignite a spark even in a person who is completely submerged in this ocean of depression and lamentation and melancholy. Now, what made this person become so great? He faced his fears. He did things which should completely eliminate his fear. Because remember, the more you run away from your fear, it's like you're inviting your fears. The shortcut to your demons is when you run away from them. Now, this is not only confined to public speaking, but it can be thought about in any walk of life. The things which you fear are the things which hold the key for your greatest growth. It was beautifully said by one of the philosophers that over the bridge of fear is your greatest growth. You will never grow much in life unless you face your fears. Now, why don't we want to face our fear? Because we fear failure. Now, the irony is that the more you fear failure, the more susceptible, the more probable is failure going to become a part of you. Because we sort of confine and chain ourselves to operate at a full potential, because we fear failure, we fear public criticism, we fear public criticism, and we think that we are better off not facing our fears. But this is the most vicious kind of self-betrayal that anyone can indulge in. Because let's remember one thing, the things which you are scared of, analyze them. Why are you scared of these things? And is this fear serving you? Because 90 to 95% of fears which we constantly dwell upon, those are fears which are based on a very shaky foundation. And what will happen if you fail? Why are we so scared of failure? Failures are probably the most powerful teachers. Success is a very poor teacher. Let's remember that. Failure is a profound teacher. Because every time you fail, you are upgrading, you are learning. Don't be scared of humiliation. Don't be scared of what public opinion is. Because if you are always going to be scared of what the world thinks about you, because the world is always going to think about you. No matter what, the world will have their opinions. Now, you need to ask yourself this question, what matters to me? Does the opinion of the world, does the opinion of the noise around me matter to me? Or the opinion which I hold about myself matter to me? Because ultimately that is what is going to matter. And that is what is going to translate in your beliefs and actions. You are never going to act in a way which is bigger than your self-image. All our thoughts, beliefs and actions are aligned with respect to a self-image. Now, this is a very deep psychological concept I am pointing you towards. Any person, the way he behaves, the way he acts in any dimension of his life is heavily influenced by the self-image he has. If you think you can't, you seriously can't. If you think you can, you seriously can. Everything is just a matter of beliefs. Beliefs make your reality. Beliefs make you a success. Beliefs make you a failure. Now, why is this emphasis on hugging the monsters? You need to understand one thing. I think Nelson Mandela said it so well. He said, I learned that courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph of courage over it, or the triumph of facing it. Now, let's understand one thing. It's not that we can become fearless. Nobody's saying that. What we are saying is, you need to build a relationship with the fear, and build a relationship with the fear, not of fear, but of looking at the fear. Because the more you look at your fear in the eye, the more the fear fears you. You get that? Fear fears you, and fear will let you go completely. You will completely vanish it from your psyche. It is very important to understand the mechanics of fear, because we don't even realize in modern day how much our actions and behaviors are influenced by fear? Modern day psychologists say that procrastination, the most subtle and the most probable reason a person procrastinates or a person delays doing things which he knows deep within is good for him, is the fear of failure. Now you might think that how is fear of failing having an impact on procrastination? We want to avoid failure, that's why we delay things. Let me give you an example. Suppose you decide that you want to exercise and get into peak shape. Now, somewhere down the line, you have a fear of failure. Maybe if I exercise, nothing will happen. Then why should I do it? What's the worth? What's really there for me, right? So if you have that process, you will unconsciously delay that. You probably are not consciously having that emotion of fear, but at a subconscious level, you have a fear of failure. That's why you're delaying those important tasks. Hence, it is extremely essential for each one of us to ask what are the things which are confining me, holding me from operating at my full potential. Now, I want to give you my own example because there has been instances in my life where I faced fear head on, and with divine grace and a little bit of my efforts, I was able to face my fears and overcome it with flying colors. Now, those who know me know that I am someone who fits in the shades of probably someone who oscillates between the personality types of an introvert and an ambivert. But to be honest, I don't subscribe to the school of thought which says that you can compartmentalize people based on personality types like introvert, ambivert, extrovert. Because I feel human beings as a personality, we are very fluid by nature. In different times of our life and the interactions with different people, we behave differently. I might behave a certain way with my parents, but I might behave a different way with my friends, right? And this is not necessary that we are going to be operating to the same personality types throughout our entire life. I don't really buy that thought process, but still, going by the conventional thought process, I was someone who sort of oscillated between these shades of personality. But one thing I always wanted to do in life is to try to create an impact through my public speaking skills. I was good in diction, in vocabulary, due to the love of books, right? I was always in love with books and I was surrounded with books. I enjoyed reading books. Because of that, I built a rich diction and vocabulary. But what I wanted was to hone my public speaking skills. So I decided when I joined my present MNC, right, General Electric, I decided to join in a club called the Toastmasters International Club. Now, those of you who don't know what Toastmasters Club is, Toastmasters Club is a internationally widespread club which has a global presence, and its major focus is to hone your public speaking skills, making you an effective and a powerful communicator. And it's not that people who want to work on their public speaking join that. People who are already quite proficient in speaking, they also join. Reason being that there is a lot of competitive public speaking tournaments which are conducted throughout the year of the Toastmaster Club, right? So you have tournaments at the club level, area level, district level, national level and international level. So this is how big this club is. I was really fascinated by the thought process of this club and I made a move of joining it because I wanted to work on my public speaking. My first icebreaker speech which I ever gave is there in the channel. You can probably go see it. Once I started giving speeches back to back, back to back, back to back, there were moments where I used to feel petrified. There were moments where I sort of wanted to avoid the situation, but I persisted. I became comfortable being uncomfortable. I sort of built a relationship with discomfort and unease. And you know what happened after that? After some time, I was looking forward to go and speak on the stage. It gave me that dopamine kick. Now what happened? I gradually trained my habits, and the more I gave speeches, the more that fear which once confined me started to disappear. And today I'm very proud that the highest achievement, I participated in this public speaking competitive tournaments, and I have won a couple of awards, but my highest achievement in Toastmasters is this thing which I want to show you here. Now this is a district level, it's a division level prize, where I won the first prize in the table topics contest in the year 21 to 22. Now why am I showing you this prize? This is not a video to brag about my achievements. The reason I'm showing you this prize, right? And let us understand, now this is a division level first prize, and this is a contest called the table topics contest, right? Now this table topics contest is not something which you can prepare for. This is an extemporaneous speech where you are given a topic on the go, and in 10 seconds you need to articulate your narrative. You need to connect the different schools of thought, and you need to spellbind the audience. Now I really started enjoying table topics, and that led me to win this division level contest. Now division level contest, winning the first prize is a commendable achievement. Now the way this works is we have club level competitions, and the club level competition winners move to the area level competition, and the area level competitor winners, the champions from the area level, they move to the division level, and again from the division there is the district. But what I'm trying to explain to you is, a person who sort of dwindled between these personality types of introvert and ambivert, I had to compete with the best of the speakers. People who had a natural extrovert demeanor, I competed with them. They had elements of theatrics in their speech performance, but still I managed to win. Now the reason I'm telling you all this is because this is palpable realistic results which we all are capable of. If we constantly work towards the things which we know we should be doing, but we are doing because of fear of failure, because of public criticism or opinion. We shouldn't do that. Today I feel so in flow when I have to speak in front of an audience of 10, 20, 50, 100, 1000. It doesn't matter to me now, because it's become a part of my neurological circuitry. It feels natural to me to gather and give a speech or present a certain topic to an audience. This is nothing but sheer practice, patience and perseverance. And the reason I showed you that award, because that award is really close to my heart, because I know how hard it is to achieve that. To compete among the best of the best and win, it's not an easy thing. But anyone can do that if we are constantly facing our fears, if you are constantly on this mission mode to eliminate all things which we are scared of doing. And the more you do that, the more better you become. Because let's remember, anything which makes you weak, Vivekananda told it so beautifully. He said that anything which makes you weak, reject it as poison. Weakness is sin. There's nothing more sin than weakness. So we need to always work towards activities which will help us, empower us and build our skills. Because let's remember, 90 to 95% of all the fears in this world are mere hallucinations. And the next time the light goes off in the night and you hear something which is unusual, turn back and look at the thing. Because when you look at the thing, the ghost will surrender, and the ghost will disappear. And if it doesn't disappear, charge towards it and hug the monster. Thank you so much. I hope this video brought a new lens through which you can view your fears, and don't resist, don't avoid that feeling of discomfort and unease. because that is the place where you are going to grow to the next level. Thank you so much. I hope you got some value out of this video, and if you really enjoyed this genre of content, don't forget to like, share and also subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, and meet you in the next video. Bye.